Hello, everybody. Today, we'll be talking about book 4 of the Bunnicula series of books, Nighty-Nightmare by James Howe. This book came out in 1987 and will be the first book that we are reviewing that I did not read beforehand when I was a child. So this is a new one for me, right? We read it together. So before we get to the summary, remember to like the video, subscribe if it's your first time here, and also if you could share this video with someone else you think might like it, we'd appreciate it. Help us grow our channel a little bit, right? So now, on to the summary of Nighty-Nightmare. So, you want to start the summary, Uri?
Yeah.
All right. What happens?
You
All right, we'll start it together. So, the Monroes are camping. They're camping out in the woods in the beginning. Are they camping in tents or are they camping in cabins?
Cabins.
Cabins, right? So they're in cabins in the woods.
Cabins are fun.
They are fun, right? When we camped, did we do cabins or tents?
Tents.
We did do tents, right? So the Monroes are out, and Mr. Monroe is out with Harold on the water fishing, and then he says, "Man, I want to do something crazy. I want to go tent camping." Is tent camping crazy? Not really. It's not that crazy, but that's what he decides to do. So they all get all their stuff together, all their tents. They go across the lake, and they
never been camping before?
Well, it seems like it, huh? Yeah, because it's like something crazy, right?
Yeah, and they never did camping before. This is the first time, I think it is.
It seems like that way, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there. So on the other side of the lake, are there people there already?
Yes.
Who's there?
2 guys.
There are 2 campers. Are they nice people, or what do you think of them?
They're a little strange in the first.
They are a little bit strange, right?
Yeah, one has a sword.
A knife. He has a knife. One of them has a knife, which he's always playing with, right? And that makes him a little bit suspicious. This having this knife makes him a little bit suspicious.
And Chester.
Chester is very suspicious. He thinks these guys must be like, killers or something, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna rob the Monroes.
They think they'll kill the parents.
Yep. So the Monroes decide to camp next to these 2 campers in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere, no one else around. And is it just the 2 campers or someone else there? Dog, right? They have a dog named Dog. D-A-W-G. All right. So, they have a dog named Dog, and he is he becomes friends with Chester, Harold, and Howie, and they all decide to go hiking up in the woods to the top of the mountain to kind of get a good view or something with the stars or something, right?
Yeah.
So they're going out there, and they're hiking up there, and on the way, Dog talks Chester, Harold, and Howie into going to see something neat in the woods, right?
That's not neat.
It's not neat? What does he take them to go see?
A house.
An old spooky house, right?
Yeah, and they're feared.
Mm-hmm. So they go to this old spooky house and it starts raining.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of time to get there.
It does.
And they were sorted waiting.
I think Dog gets lost, right? Mm-hmm. They say he knows these woods really well. They won't get lost, and they got lost. All right. Because Chester, Howie, and Harold do not know these woods. Right. So they do finally get to the house, and then it starts raining, so they kind of rest in some bushes, or I think the barn or something like that, some little shelter near there. And they start, it's like night. They want Dog to fall asleep, and Dog says, "I will fall asleep if I hear a good story."
Then Chester told the story.
What's the story about?
Benito, how he turned out a vampire.
It's a story about Bunnicula, about a scientist experimenting on rabbits, and he turns a rabbit into a vampire, right? Is the story a true story?
No.
We don't know, right? We don't really know if the story is true or not. It doesn't say inside the book if the story is true.
Yeah.
Do you think it's true?
Yes.
Of course it's true. Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah, absolutely. So really, the book itself is kind of setting up, talking about this campfire story about Bunnicula, trying to talk about his origins and what happened there in the beginning. So that's the whole kind of point of that. It does a good job of it. I like it. I like the style of this book. I think it's a really good style. I think it presents the story well, and there's a lot of suspense and interesting things going on. Another thing that does happen in the book is Bunnicula actually in this book?
No.
Not physically, but they talk about him, right?
Yeah.
What happens with Bunnicula?
Well, Bunnicula is a child.
He gets a child, right?
Yeah.
There's a science experiment with the Monroe kids, and in this science...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, in the other house, they got the baby.
Mhm.
A baby.
He has a baby, right? And it looks exactly like Bunnicula.
Only tiny.
Only tiny. Yeah, it's a baby. So that also happens in this book. And is that important?
No.
In a later book, it comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a later book, it does come up. So
Yeah, the last one.
yeah. All right. So that's what happens in this story. Did you like the book?
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite part?
Seriously, it's a good book.
It is a good book. Was it scary?
Yes.
What was scary about it?
The ketchup.
The ketchup, right?
Yeah.
In one chapter, they're following a trail of blood, and we think it is a trail of blood.
And the second chapter, it was actually ketchup.
It leads to a ketchup bottle, right?
Yeah.
Harold thought it was blood, but it was really ketchup. Oh well. Poor Harold. All right. Yeah. Is this book good for kids?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good book for kids. I found it very entertaining. I thought it was very good for adults too. What about dogs? Would dogs like this book?
Yes.
Dogs would like this, but they might find it scary.
Yeah.
There are some scary dog things in this book, so be careful if you're reading it to your dog. All right, make sure your dog is aware there could be scary things in the book.
Yeah, so they might be strong.
So there you have it. So again, if you like this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, right? If is your first time here, subscribe. Help us grow our channel by sharing this with someone else who you think might like it. And that's been our review of Bunnicula Book 4, Nighty-Nightmare. Rah.